A warm welcome to the first in the series of Money Mysteries, a program sponsored and powered by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And through this platform, you will be able to speak to different experts who will give you sound advice and especially the advice you need to make smart money choices. My name is Chileshe Kangwa, and today I'm joined by the Chief Executive Officer of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mr. Philip K. Chitalu, just to talk to us about what Money Mysteries is all about and how you can secure your investment. Sir, I'd like to welcome you to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, it's nice to be back here.
I know that we're talking about money mysteries. How does this relate first to the mandate of the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Yeah, the SEC, as we like calling it, or Securities and Exchange Commission, is a capital markets regulator. Now, what we like saying is there are three financial sector regulators: the central bank that everyone knows, then the Pensions and Insurance Authority, and then we have the Securities and Exchange Commission for capital markets. So to break it down, the question is, what are capital markets? So these are markets where you can raise long-term capital for businesses, as the name suggests. So we basically exist to provide the environment for private sector to raise long-term capital for the growth of industry, businesses, and then we can avoid the good things that people talk about, the jobs, the taxes, and pretty much everything. So that's what capital markets are all about.
I like that you coined this money mysteries, because money is indeed a mystery for many Zambians. When we talk about savings, for instance, when we talk about investment platforms, we may not get it right in some cases. But talk to us about why you are discussing money as a mystery and unpacking some of the issues around it.
Yeah, I think with the advent of social media, and people can easily be communicated to, what we've seen is there are a lot of scams that are coming onto the market. And in the last couple of months, especially this year, it's been very, very common that almost every week, 2 weeks, you hear of people having lost money. So we just want to unpack what making money is all about, that some of the things that we do get on social media is not really the way money is made. So I hope at the end of the 5-episode series, if money is on the table, we may continue further to see that we provide information to the general public, what money is all about and what making money is not. So this is Money Mysteries, and I hope the viewers will get one or two things that will save their hard-earned money.
If you don't fully understand it, don't invest in it. I think that all of us need to live by that, but sometimes we are tempted, like you said, where you just want to invest or get free money. You invest a little bit and get more money out of it. And sometimes these schemes are very lucrative, but in the long run, many people fall short.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of people crying because they just put money into something that they never really understood. So what we're trying to say in this series is, if you do not understand it, stay away. Or go speak to an expert that can explain to you, and maybe at the end of the day, you can make what we like to call an informed decision. Without information, would advise stay away. But maybe I have to give, a disclaimer. I'm not here today to provide investment advice. I'm here to provide a platform where we can understand how investment works, especially in the capital markets. So if you don't know it, stay away. I think that's the best that you can do. Stick to what you would ordinarily do.
You spoke about taxes, for instance. You spoke about the development, especially economically, for the country. I'd like you to talk about some of the milestones that you have scored as SEC and how the Zambian people's investments have been secured.
Yeah, it's a very good question, but loaded, and I don't want to advertise anyone's financial securities or shares. But we have scored as a country quite a number of milestones. In a 10-year master plan that we have, which is the Capital Markets Development Master Plan, one of the milestones is to grow the sector to a level where we can be recognized internationally by belonging to what we call, what is called as the Morgan Stanley Capital International. This is the club where particular securities market are admitted to. Now, one of the criteria for being admitted is having businesses that are of a particular size. And the last time I checked, a business needed to be worth at least 750 million. You needed to have 3 companies worth something like $750 million before you could be admitted. Now, before this year, we didn't have such big businesses, but I'm glad to say we've since had $2 billion companies. I think everyone knows this is public information. CEC is way above 1.5. It could be about 1.6 because share prices keep going up. And ZCCM is also above $1 billion company. I don't know how to describe how big $1 billion is, but that's huge. And we are on our way towards there. But we have also set our goal to see that majority of our people are playing capital markets because we know the benefits that they can get by playing capital markets. So our target was to reach 3% of adult population. The last census adult population was something like 10 million people. So we needed to do 3 million people. 10%, which is about 1.5 million. So we are already above that, so that's a milestone. So we have over 1 million people that are safely, I think you have to underline the word safely investing for the long-term sustainability of their lives through capital markets. So that's another milestone. We put a goal as a country to raise money through a green bond. Again, CEC came to the rescue. CEC has raised $156 million. So there are a lot of milestones. Can probably take us the whole night discussing some of the benefits that accrue to the capital markets and the achievements that we've done this year.
Let's talk about the safety around it. How do we build relationships with organizations like yourself, SEC, in order to make sound financial decisions? Because the more attractive the package is what we will run for as Zambians. And I ask this because a lot of people are on the road to recovering from huge losses. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that some of it is pure common sense, if I may be allowed to say that. We have had products on the market that literally tell you that you could have a pig growing in 2 weeks. I don't think it takes a lot of research to ask around and, for instance, ask farmers, how long does it take for maize to be ready, wheat, pigs, goats, and the like. But you get to find very nice sounding and looking propositions that a person could, for instance, invest 1,000 kwacha and make 50,000 kwacha in 2 weeks. The best you can do is ask the experts. And this is where the SEC comes in. We license people to be front runners, as it were. You can speak to them because they are knowledgeable. And that's how SEC tends to protect the environment. So the best that we can do as government agencies to ensure that information is available. And if information is not being properly understood, then we come to a show such as this one, where we try to unpack more and more investment matters so that people could be helped to invest in real products and then they don't have to lose their money. I think that's the best that we can do, make information available.
When we talk about recovering from these huge losses, people will look at you and say, CEO, I don't think it's possible. How can we do it? Because I've lost money that was supposed to support my family, my children's school fees, and people who depend on me as employees. But you're saying there is a dynamic that can lead to a road to recovery when it comes to this.
Yeah, I think what we need to appreciate is investment is a long-term process. So anybody who tells you that they could make you a lot of money in a short period of time, I think you need to run away from them very, very fast, because I tell people, like, I've been working for the last 31 years and I haven't still reached some of the levels people promised to make in 2 weeks. So that immediately tells you that it doesn't make sense. Even just planting maize takes you 3 months and you would not get 100% return. So recovery is a long-term process, but the sooner you start, the better, and the sooner you get to know the real ways of investing, I think the better the recovery process is assured. We do not assure people that they'll recover what they've lost, because most of it is into fraudulent schemes. People run away. They just go disappear in thin air. So the SEC is here to ensure that your future investments are done in a safer and long, sustainable manner, as opposed to get rich quickly.
Fact-checking is an important aspect, and as SEC, you always say, check the facts. Don't be on the scammed side of these financial issues. How important is it to identify the right people, the right organizations to invest with, and fact-checking? It may be a bit difficult because I may not have a stable or good foundation behind what I'm investing in.
I think the starting point is money is hard to make. So since it's hard to make, when it comes into your pockets, your bank account, or however it comes to you, your mobile phone account, and you want to invest it, ask around. There must be people that you trust around your circles. I think those could be the first. Trying to get information about maybe where else to get additional information. Most of the people that are getting scammed have got access to social media. So we are on social media. The Bank of Zambia is on social media. The Pensions and Insurance Authority. Get onto our website, find out information about investing. I think it's too late to report to the regulatory authorities after you've lost money. Believe you me, most of the cases that we get to investigate and get involved in, they are reported to us too late. Having worked in a hospital, this is like really showing up at a hospital when you are on your last leg, when you should have gone to the hospital when it started to pain. It's in a similar way, before you put aside any money into an investment product, go to the website, call the SEC, call the Bank of Zambia, call the PIA, call a trusted friend. We have licensed people that are on our website that you can speak to. And if they still give you information that does not add up, come to the SEC. Walk to the SEC. We are just across here, opposite East Park. If you are out of the country, or even out of town, give us a call, WhatsApp, send an email, do something. I think it is incumbent upon each and every investor to see to it that they protect their hard-earned money. I like saying that the best protection starts with the investors themselves, and this is why we're here. My favorite thing is even if you live next to a police station, what do? You still lock up your door. You do not take advantage that, no, the police station is next door. They could be busy with something else, and then you lose something. So why don't you protect yourself? Call somebody, go to the website, send a WhatsApp, and simply ask. But the fundamental issue is about returns. If the returns look too good to be true, that means ask more questions. Here's one of the guiding principles. Just a little bit of research, you could easily Google and say, what is the return on the government bonds, for instance? That gives you a leeway. We are now at about, maybe the highest should be about 19%. And 19% is per annum, not per month. So if somebody offers you 48%, 50%, you immediately now have, you should be in overdrive, like, how are they offering me 50% when the government can only offer me 19%? That should give you a chance, an opportunity to start questioning the legitimacy of a particular return. Another issue that we like talking about, if your cousin shows up, says, give me your 50,000 gratuity, I'll triple it, I'll bring 150 next week. If they're gonna bring 150,000 next week, in a week's time they've made an additional 100,000. How much more have they made on top for them to share 100 with you? Immediately starts looking like a scam. Unless they're into another illegal product, maybe selling drugs, I think you have a right to run away and never return.
Running away and never returning. And I like that you spoke about the open door policy that you have as regulators. Sometimes we have these platforms where we even speak to the Zambia Police Service and they'll say, no one has reported this Ponzi scheme. How do we build a trusted relationship where I can walk to SEC and actually ask and get the right information? Because sometimes people may think it's for the elite, it's not for me, this organization is not for every Zambian.
Yeah, I mean, we are paid by taxpayers' money, so we have every obligation to ensure that we provide a service back to the public. We use public funds. And with that said, we cannot afford not to attend to the public when they do call us, write an email, or show up, as it were. So we have also we've been doing Thursday town halls, I think for the last 2-3 years. Every last Thursday of each and every month, we discuss a particular topic. If the public wants to discuss a specific burning issue, we'll set and find time to ensure that we discuss it. I think social media has made things so easier to do. You could be anywhere and still reach out or still attend some of these things. But we also do other programs. Every first quarter, we do participate in nationwide awareness campaigns. Every October, we participate in what is called World Investor Week. And in this World Investor Week, we're involving universities. In October, we were in Livingstone, where 10 universities were debating. And these are some of the topics they debated on, scams. And we strongly believe that if we can get people about to get into the working environment to know about how to secure the salaries that they're going to be getting, then we are headed in the right direction.
Headed in the right direction, indeed. And this is a special program that looks at how you can protect your investment. And today we are zeroing in on what you need to know about some of the scams that are out there and how the regulatory authorities can actually protect you. Let's take a break. We'll be back with the Chief Executive Officer right after this.
Tell those people to get that $4 million, put it in the $30 million account.
I should have known better. I trusted someone I didn't fully understand.
Oh yeah, and that I can't wait to move into the new house.
You know, you make me run around and find that money and make sure that you know these things. Money is money.
And that is what we're talking about when we look at what is in store for you on this program. It's a 5-part series that will enlighten you and how you can protect your investment. And I'm joined by Philip K. Chitalu, who is the Chief Executive Officer at the Securities and Exchange Commission. We were speaking about social media, and that is even depicted in that trailer that we saw that gives an insight to what we're going to be talking about. We are mostly trusting our social media influencers. We are followers in a sense, but sometimes we may be following something that is not correct. How do you verify these things when it comes from people who you are so trusting of on these platforms?
Yeah. I also wanted to zero in on something that was in that trailer. Put the 5 million into the 30 million account. You know, and these are some of the things people do. They really want to show you that they're big. I mean, 5 into 30, you'll be like, this is the person to deal with. But even where you know them, check their credentials. I think it's incumbent upon each and every person to check Philip's credentials and see, is he authorized to do what they're proposing to do. Without that particular thing, it becomes extremely, extremely difficult, even for us as regulatory authorities, to do any protective measures, because by the time we really come into, like I said, we come into the space, people have been scammed. So if the person trying to sell you a product is not licensed, just know that they do not meet the mark. They could be a well-spoken person, a well-known person, and actually that's where the risk is, because we do not check their credentials. We know them, but they could be taking you down the drain as far as money is concerned. We have had a lot of such cases where people come and said they were our head at a school, or this was my cousin, this is my aunt. Look, if your aunt is not licensed, then they have absolutely no right to sell a particular service or product. So please, check that people have the right credentials. Without the right credentials, even a Philip Chitalu cannot and should not collect your money. In terms of what is generally referred as deposit taking, for any person to get money from you, forget about the advice, because the real scams go into collecting money from you. You need to be a deposit-taking licensed entity, which means you have a license from the central bank. You need to be a pension provider. That means you have a license from the PIA. You need to be an insurance company, which means you have an insurance license from the PIA. You need to be a dealer. That means you have a license or authorization from the Securities and Exchange Commission. But when you're putting aside a little bit of money, even when you see these documents, still maybe do more due diligence, call the SEC, especially if your last paycheck. Those of us who are getting to retirement now, 55, 60, shop around, ask around before you entrust any of your funds into anybody's. So whether they're a good soccer player, a good musician, or anything else, that's not good enough for your money. I think your money deserves better. And what it deserves is a licensed, authorized, regulated person to handle your money.
Indeed, that is the conversation we're having today, and we want to invite you, our viewers, to participate and tell us what your experience has been. Have you ever been scammed? What has that experience been like, and have you recovered from that loss? We have an expert in studio to discuss these things, but let's entrust you into this video.
This movie is sponsored by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the regulators of capital markets in Zambia.
Hello? John, I think we have talked about this. Tell those people to get that $4 million, put it in the $30 million account. That's where I want that money to be. But where's the problem? We will deliver the goods as agreed.
They say a man is supposed to protect his family, provide, secure their future.
We're doing this in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? From 2 to 4 weeks.
I was supposed to buy my family a house, a place we could finally call home.
Of course, if you go beyond 200, we're talking 1 week.
Oh, don't tell me. You make me...
My business.
You make me run around and find that money and make sure that... these things. Money is money.
I served every kwacha for years and sacrificing, but now it's all gone. I should have known better. I trusted someone I didn't fully understand. Went for the quick fix, and now I'm paying the price.
Chanda, you know what your dad was saying this morning before he left? He was saying, oh, I'm very excited. I'm going to run that 100 meters. You know the one for the parents at your school? He was like, I'm going to win.
You should just sit down. He's too old for that.
Oh. You want me to tell him? Okay. People are not loyal. That is here.
Oh yeah, and that. I can't wait to move into the new house because I already started making plans and I told all my friends about it.
I can't tell her. How do I explain that I lost everything? The house, our future. I felt them all. I have to fix this. I can't give up. There has to be a way. Next time, I will check the facts and trust the right people. I thought my story ended when I lost everything. But maybe this is just the beginning.
And that is some of what you can look out for when it comes to unlocking those money mysteries. Remember that you can participate on the program now by calling us on 25 30 25. The area code is 0211, and we'll be able to answer some of those pertinent questions. Now, Mr. Chitalu, you were speaking about issues of forward thinking, futuristic thinking, time for retirement, for instance, time for gratuities, for instance. But it almost seems like there's a trend of scammers lying in wait and knowing when people have quite that lump sum.
I think the guys are well informed. Just like we wake up, I keep saying we brush our teeth and say, I'm going to go for work. Scammers are doing exactly that. They know which company is going to be paying the gratuities or pension when, and they come up with good stories. Now, people are looking to make money whilst they are sleeping. It's possible, but then not the returns that are promised. I think in the last big one, we had PMG, and we warned people in June. In September, people were still investing, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. This year alone, we have had 4 such PMG-like scams. I think we have a tip of the iceberg in terms of people who get to report these things to regulatory authorities or law enforcement agencies. So if we were to take statistics, most of these are people losing their retirement funds. I would not really recommend anybody offering a return higher than what the government is giving you now, like 19%, especially for your pension, because you may never see your pension again. Please, 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 especially for your last check, speak to a licensed, authorized advisor before you can leave it in a licensed bank whilst you're thinking about where to take it. Anything that looks like too good. I think we had one that was saying they were into manufacturing bracelets or something. Can't just remember the name. That you invest as little. The guys are clever. They tell you invest as little as 250, and they'll be giving you 40 kwacha every Friday for something like 12 weeks or something like that. So when you think about it, 250 looks like pocket change to some people. But if these guys manage to convince 1 million people, then they've gathered 250 million and they're gone. But the question that we should always ask is, if somebody is offering a good return, find out in what business are they going to put this money. Because most of the businesses, we know the returns. Agriculture, housing. Housing can't give you more than 8% per annum. So if somebody says you're going to invest in a housing scheme which gives 150%, you immediately know that this doesn't make sense. Now, it may make sense to those of us in the financial services sector, and this is why we are saying speak to a licensed person who is likely to tell you something. Now, here's how the scammers do it. The first 1 or 2 people, they'll probably give the money. And you know what they're doing? They're just increasing their sales pitch or marketing so that it looks real. And that's why Ponzi schemes are sometimes referred to as pyramid schemes, because at the top, it looks small and then you can get money, but when the base becomes too big, it becomes unsustainable. And most of the times, that's when it falls. Even the first persons who get the money, you know what most of them do? They invest back, because they put in 10,000 and they were given 20,000, and now they even go and borrow more so that they can put in 50,000, they buy the car that they've been wanting to buy, and now when they put in 100,000, you go find the offices closed, the website is inaccessible. I've heard of somebody who closed the mobile money booth, put in their 18,000, and that's the last time they ever saw of the 18,000. I think stay to your mobile phone, but they are regulated, they are more secure than some of the products that we're seeing on the market.
Why do you think we're not adhering to the red flags? And I ask this because one of the Ponzi schemes that you've cited, a warning is released in June, but in September, people are still actually going for it. But let me take a caller, because we have Chanda Mr. Banda from within Lusaka. Thank you for the correction. Please go ahead with your question or contribution.
Excellent. No, thank you very much. My name is Banda, just from within Lusaka. The securities, sir, how are you?
I'm okay, and how are you, Mr. Banda?
Excellent. Madam Kangwa, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, sir. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you very much. I think the way you're doing it now, you are better, because from way back, no awareness has been done, and yet people have been trading, you know. You think of a lot of schemes that have come from other countries. People come, they're scammed, money goes, and we even wonder, but how do they manage to come into the country, and yet we have the commission like you, which are able to detect and put awares to the communities to say, hey, that scheme which has come, it is not registered, or it is what? There are a lot of Ponzi schemes that are going even in the backyard, but then they are not known. So now, I think there is need for your organization to do a lot of awareness, that people come out and say, hey, there's this scheme, and is it registered with you? Is it regulated and stuff like that? A lot of people have been scammed. We're all victims. And we hope that a lot of awareness would be done. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Banda there, and thank you for being part of Money Mysteries. That ties into what I was asking you. The red flags are not adhered to, but Mr. Banda also brings another aspect in that awareness is not there, and sometimes these admins for these Ponzi schemes are in foreign countries, so hard to trace them.
I think we need to, it's a very, very good observation, and yes, we're trying to use public funds to warn the public. I think this is a better use of money so that we have the public protected. But the biggest question is some of these are operating in the communities where we live. So we may not know about the existence of something. So I would urge the public to come report to the authorities immediately they suspect something. But there have been issues of people quietly making money and only crying out to the agencies when they lose money. But just in a minute, what I need to warn people about is the fact that somebody has a PACRA a certificate, that's not a license. We've heard of people saying, no, but they've got a PACRA certificate, they've got a VAT registration. You know, guys are so clever, they get to hang in their offices. They are posh-looking offices sometimes, all these certificates. For money issues, this is where money mysteries come in. Money is only collected by licensed. A PACRA certificate is not a license to collect money. Please, please, please. ZI registrations, PACRA certificates, that doesn't mean that they have to collect the money from you. Do more due diligence.
Due diligence indeed. Let's join our caller on Money Mysteries because we're joined by Emmanuel from Kabwe. Emmanuel, please go ahead with your question or contribution.
Yes, good morning, our presenter this evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Good morning, our guest in studio, Director Kalu.
Please go ahead.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. I think we're all elaborated following this wonderful topic that has actually been brought by our madam. My question is, I think being a director, I think you know all angles of businesses. You talked about PMG, the way people are actually being scammed in a very, very bad situation. So I think, don't you also put interventions when people are starting about making an implementation in terms of starting the businesses? Because they go through maybe, I don't know if it's ZPPA or Partner, ZLI. Don't you also find out so what business are they doing for them to come up with that idea? If you know that this business is not really applicable, what interventions do you put in place?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chileshe. I think we got your question, and we have to accommodate as many callers as we can. Interventions before the calamity.
You know, it's the registrations of PACRA are generic. It does not usually say exactly what people get to do. Let's say you say general trading, you still get your PACRA registration. But general trading does not allow you or permit you, authorize you to collect money from the public. So the public has to ensure that the public, we get to work with them, and then we become relevant. If nobody reports, if we are not aware, it's extremely difficult to detect some of these fraudulent schemes. They are happening right on our WhatsApp groups. So somebody should be bold enough to find out from the authorities whether it is legitimate. We've been accused sometimes of stopping some of these schemes because they strong believe to make them 1,000% of the investment, which is simply unbelievable. And people only usually get back to us when they lose money. So yeah, I think PMG, we had a case of something like 25 teachers in Kabwe losing money through PMG, which is regrettable. But again, there's something I almost forgot. Rora Miti told us something through the media, like, sure, you were sick, how can you put something in writing? Because Zambians simply do not read. You cannot put a warning for a Zambian in writing. And this is why we're doing Money Mysteries, so that maybe we strongly believe, suspect, like the way the calls are coming in, I can attest that Zambians watch, Zambians listen, and I think together we can make something good out of something bad.
Yes, and this is Money Mysteries. I know that we have another caller waiting to be a part of the show. We have M. Sakala from within Lusaka. Please go ahead with your question or contribution.
I am Msakabantu.
Mr. Msakabantu, thank you so much for the correction. Please go ahead.
Yes, we have scammers in this country. Some of them dealing in cars. Hello?
Yes, please speak up so that we can hear you and get your contribution correctly.
Yeah, they borrow or they lend out money to unsuspecting masses. So I one day went there along Greatest Road near Amanda Hill. And then I won't mention the place exactly. And then they said you'll get your white book and you should also give us the transfer of your property in case you fail to pay. And can you imagine you borrow 10,000 and you have to pay back 18,000 the other month? That is pure robbery. And the culture of hard working in this country is not there. We would rather have quick money. Yeah. We would rather have quick money.
Thank you, Mr. Sakabantu. I'll have to let you go there because we're quickly running out of time. But I think that's another big thorn in the flesh. Shylocks, people have lost their money because, like you say, exorbitant interest rates. But most importantly, people are willing to give away their properties, title deeds.
Yeah. I think for the sake, the takeaway there is what Mr. Sakabantu said. We are simply maybe not hardworking. We don't want to do a lot of work. That's why we believe that we can invest 10,000 and get 100,000 out of it. Because that's not the way money works. Some of the families in Lusaka, in Zambia, that have money now, their grandfathers started maybe in the 60s. And this is the only time they are able to buy the flash cars that we see. So you see how long it takes to accumulate or generate genuine funds. So I think what he has talked about is hard work. Hard work will teach you that if 100% return is just not possible in a week.
Verification of providers, licensed providers. How do people now identify this? From what you've heard from our viewers, the feedback seems quite strong and people would like a way out of this trap of scammers.
I think we have to be innovative as a nation and with the questions that are coming in. And that's where I meet the issue of people, Zambians not wanting to read. We have to come up with innovative ways, maybe SSDs or something where somebody can just star something and find out whether a Philip Chitalu is a licensed person. I'm sure my colleagues from the office who are listening in, they have to be innovative. Let's make it as easy as possible to verify the authenticity of anybody trying to get money from us. We've heard, whilst the licensed providers are on their websites, I see that we still don't like reading, so we have to find a way of disseminating the information about reading. I do lecture on a part-time basis, and then I ask people in my classes, like, when you are depositing money or placing insurance, do you read the financials of the financial institution you're dealing with? You know what that financial is supposed to do? You should, it's not the central bank governor to tell you that don't put money in bank X, or don't insure your car, Namakau at PI to say, don't insure your car with insurance X. You know, for a regulatory authority such as ours, we strongly believe that once information is out there in the public, then the public can make informed decisions. But what I'm getting today is, I think we have to come up with another money mysteries angle that speaks about how to get to check the authenticity of somebody maybe using SSD or something. I'm just thinking through it. I'm sure my more learned colleagues at the office, IT, will come up with something.
Your message to our viewers as they continue to watch these series and unlock their money mysteries?
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of exciting. We have 4 more episodes where you'll be able to watch the short trailers or movies that gets to give us a lot of information that money is hard to make. It can never be earned in a manner that scammers are proposing it to us. So invest in something that you know about. If it sounds too foreign, I think stay away, or get to have a licensed, more exposed person give you more information before you let go of your money.
We hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And that is where we end our money mysteries for today. Remember, it is a 5-part series that will unlock some of those money mysteries that you have. And today we did see that with the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Philip K. Chitalu, leading, many people have voiced out on how they would like to see tightening in some of the loopholes that come with how they spend, save, and invest their money. My name is Chileshe Kangwa, and on behalf of the entire production crew, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Tell those people to get that $4 million, put it in the $30 million account.
I should have known better. I trusted someone I didn't fully understand.
Oh yeah, and that, I can't wait to move into the new house.
You know, you make me run around and find that money and make sure that you know these things. Money is money.
This movie is sponsored by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the regulators of capital markets in Zambia.
Hello? John, I think we have talked about this. Tell those people to get that $4 million, put it in the $30 million account. That's where I want that money to be. But where's the problem? We will deliver the goods as agreed.
They say a man is supposed to protect his family, provide, secure their future.
We're doing this in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? From 2 to 4 weeks.
I was supposed to buy my family a house, a place we could finally call home.
Of course, if you go beyond 200, we're talking 1 week.
Oh, don't tell me. You make me
my business.
You know, you make me run around and find that money and make sure that you know these things. Money is money.
I served every kwacha for years and sacrificing, but now it's all gone. I should have known better. I trusted someone I didn't fully understand. Went for the quick fix, and now I'm paying the price.
Good evening. You're watching TV1 just for you. Just 10 years later, anyway, after my beautiful stay and a beautiful marriage, I lost my husband.